It's Disney Detonation coming at you from the transformative content fair used to use in New Jersey. I am your host. Today's going to be a talk soup kind of a thing about attendance and how the rides are constantly breaking down. And yeah, it's a sad day for me because I'm going on a cruise I'm leaving on Saturday, and this is normally the time of year that I go to Disney World. And after seeing all these videos, all these vloggers, and how empty the parks are and the wait times for some things, yeah, I wish I was going, but I'm not. All right, so let's start it off with Promise Hope. She and her boyfriend, or now husband, got into Sci-Fi Diner, which is like a huge thing. You can't. It's like really tough to get into this place. Let's roll the clip.
I think right now Disney World is the slowest I've seen it in a while, and that's because I was able to grab a dining reservation today that you never can at
Sci-Fi Dining, and I've never actually been there before,
so
which is kind of crazy,
The
right?
place is awesome.
it's so crazy. I've been so many times. I can't wait to show this guy one of the most nostalgic places here at Disney, and that's definitely why I think the crowd level here at Disney World in Orlando is definitely a little bit lower, because usually you can never find same-day reservations for sci-fi, like ever, let alone a lunchtime reservation. Like, this is crazy. Hopefully some of the rides will also be not so heavy.
Yeah, hopefully. So I found a website that looks at all the wait times, which is really cool. And it gives you like a trending up and down. So if you see this like red hand, that means the they're trending up as far as people coming in. So don't go. I mean, it's August 14th. It's about 8:08 right now. So this is going to be a good representation and everything. But up on the top left, it shows you how levels of the crowds. I think it's 0 to 10, so they're at a 7. You go down here, you can see Haunted Mansion is trending down. 30-minute wait time is kind of a normal wait time for the Haunted Mansion. 85 is normal for Jungle Cruise. But you can see the hand means that the crowd levels are going up. And also the little squiggly line there. But Tron Light Cycle still at 100. So yeah, it's called WDW Passport. It's a very good tool to see what like what the crowd levels are and how the lines are trending. But I'll get back into this later. I just wanted to quickly show it to you. And so now we're gonna go to the next one. So I'm gonna go through a couple of clips that just show how empty the park is. This is some of these clips that Kyle Palo did. I took out the audio because he flips back and forth between saying that the crowd levels are normal, and then he makes these statements that, oh well, it's empty. So like I couldn't deal with the ones where he's like trying to pass off the crowd levels as normal. So here's the Galaxy's Edge, and then this is like onto the right here is the milk stand that they have for let me play that again. And there's nobody there. This whole area is usually packed. There's usually on the right hand side there's a photo op, and there's nobody there because there's no one here, and there's no one in line for the blue milk or the green milk. I mean, it looks like the kiosk employee is like not even behind the counter. She's all the way, outside. I don't know what's going on there. All right, so the next place is...
Side note, does anybody miss the big hat? I think it would be very much
Nobody misses the
welcome
big
back.
hat. Look
I
how
just feel like
empty
this
this
area
is.
is just lacking. It's just like so open, and there's a whole lot of nothing just for foot traffic. I don't know if that's their plan, but some entertainment here would be very much welcomed on my end.
Yeah, I don't know why they took away the whole Imperial March thing. They should have just kept that going. And so here's another one walking up to Galaxy's Edge, where I took the sound out because it was just ridiculous. I mean, even with this scrim here, it would usually like make the crowd even tighter. And this, I mean, there's like no one. It's crazy. All right, so the next one is... All right, this is right by where the character meet and greets are, and and we switched over. I mean, there is nobody here. All right, so let's hear some of the other vloggers' discussion on it. This is DBF Guide. She's pretty informative when it comes to like food and food items, but this clip, I mean, we'll just get into it. You can see for yourself.
I've given you a few different reasons as to why the parks might be seeing this downward trajectory in guests currently, but let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth, or the mouse's mouth. In a recent earnings call, Disney CFO Christine McCarthy discussed theme park growth and park attendance. In reference to the Disney parks revenue, she said per cap growth was more moderate this quarter as we are comparing against the first full quarter of offering Genie Plus and Lightning Lane at both parks in the prior year. Translation, things are slowing down. McCarthy also said, please keep in mind that in the back half of this fiscal year, there will be an unfavorable comparison against the prior year's incredibly successful 50th anniversary celebration at Walt Disney World. Adding, we typically see some moderation in demand as we lap these types of events. And third quarter to date performance has been in line with those historical trends. In short, Disney confirmed that demand in the parks is slowing down compared to the beginning of the 50th anniversary and will continue to slow down. But let's take that one step further. It's not just that the 50th anniversary is over. It's just that there's not a whole lot of action going on in the Disney World.
I mean, what is it? There's not a whole lot of action going on. So every year they have to have a new ride. Every year there has to be some sort of enticement. People come because they like Disney. It's like they don't need to have a new ride every year. And there's been years where they haven't. You know, the Epcot has been under construction for 4 years, 5 years. The Tron ride sat for 4 years before it started. You don't know what you're talking about. It's nonsense.
Scene right now.
All right. So then the next clip is from Mickey Views. He is Braden, I think the kid's name. And he is, what a great source of information this kid is. It's like every time he posts a video, it's gold. And let's get into this one.
Since most watching this are intimately familiar with Walt Disney World and the Nothing Burger that was the 50th anniversary, you'll get a kick out of this. Walt Disney World's underperformance is not being blamed on all the things I just talked about. It is being blamed on the fact that the 50th anniversary was such an all-time record-breaking, amazing anniversary. And now that the 50th is over, people are so sad. They're saying, you know what, we're just not going to go for a while. I kid you not. This is what they're claiming. They keep talking about the 50th, and that's why people aren't going to the parks anymore.
We saw softer performance at Walt Disney World from the prior year, coming off our highly successful 50th anniversary.
I mean, how out of touch is this guy? Either he's like placating to the shareholders or he just doesn't know what the hell is going on. I mean, this is like so irritating.
Celebration. Domestic parks attendance grew slightly year over year, reflecting comparisons against last year.
I mean, I sound like I'm listening to like a 1940s World War II, radio broadcast from these two.
There's strong trends coming out of the 50th anniversary at Walt Disney World. We continue to expect some moderation in demand at our domestic parks.
Yeah, and this entire light show, water show has been dismantled and thrown in the trash. So there's another loss for you.
As we compare against our highly successful 50th anniversary celebration at Walt Disney World.
For those unaware, Disney did hardly anything for the 50th anniversary. Chapek canceled all of the original plans Imagineering had for enhancing legacy attractions at the Magic Kingdom, adding all sorts of new stuff. It just so happens Disney's...
Here's what they did for the 50th anniversary. They redid Cinderella's Castle. They offered like one of those Disney Plus bands for 50th year. They had like some merchandise, and then they had statues all around the parks that were interactive with these new Disney Plus bands. And half the time they worked, and half the time they didn't. That's what they did for the 50th anniversary.
Nothing Burger anniversary coincided with the post-lockdown pent-up demand comprised of people that were going to Disney regardless of what promotional campaign Disney happened to be running at the time.
There you go. Couldn't have said it better myself. So next here's PC Dev at Galaxy's Edge, and at least he's got the integrity to actually say what's going on.
At the current crowd level inside Galaxy's Edge, again, it's not too bad at all. Lots of empty space. Wow, usually this little area is super congested, and it's not today. This is pretty insane. Wow, even more space up here. I'm here in the center.
I mean, I'm so regretting not going, watching these videos. It's just driving me crazy.
Look at this. Look how quiet and empty Galaxy's Edge is right now. Wow.
Attention all units. Prepare docking bay for the 709.
Like I said, I think if you can afford to come right now without going into debt, come.
You're killing me,
The
dude.
crowds
Killing me.
are very light. And I don't know when it will be busy again, but look at this. It's empty right here. Oh, that's cool. This is crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. So last year we got into Olga's Cantina, and the prior year we couldn't get we couldn't get in. You could only get in with a reservation, and this is how it is today. All these videos are like in the past 10 to 14 days.
My mind is blown just a little bit right now because usually when I'm walking through Galaxy's Edge, I like to stop at Olga's Cantina when I'm in the mood to see if I could possibly walk in, and I just spoke with a few cast members. Only a 10-minute wait to experience Olga's Cantina right now. I'm not going to do it today just because I don't feel like drinking today. I'm on a strict diet right now, but holy cow, a 10-minute wait to experience Olga's Cantina today. Right.
10-minute wait to get into Olga's Cantina. I mean, awesome. All right, so the next clip is another clip from Mickey Views, and it's going into the different reasons why the park's attendance is declining.
Also, something that isn't touched on nearly as much is Disney has completely alienated their older, quite wealthy visitors. If you guys recall, when Disney first implemented My Magic Plus, when they did the whole Next Gen initiative back in the early 2010s, you'll recall that the FastPass Plus, they had those physical in-park kiosks.
And this is why, Genie Plus is never going away. They removed all these little kiosks, so Genie Plus is here to stay. Whether or not they're going to keep charging you for it is another story, but you're still going to be tethered to your phone for the entire time that you're at the park. So you're going to have some sort of job.
You could use an in-park kiosk in order to make your FastPass Plus reservations. In addition to this, the FastPass Plus Skip the Line feature, which did have this digital component to it, it was something that you were doing on your computer. You could do it on your old dinosaur desktop computer way in advance of the actual day of you being in the park. So between the kiosks the day of and the desktop application, it was really something where you did not need to be on your phone while you were in the park, because Disney found they had all these richer, older guests that weren't about all the smartphones and the apps and the this and that, and they didn't want to deal with any of that, so Disney provided them another option. Well, with the Genie Plus thing, Disney's just totally given up the ghost on trying to appeal to older guests. You are tied to your cell phone the entire day if you want to make the most out of your Walt Disney World vacation, and I mean that in terms of riding the most rides. Obviously, if you're looking at your phone the whole time during your vacation, that does not sound like a vacation. Maybe it is to some people,
No, it's
but
not.
I most certainly do not enjoy that little bit.
I mean, this guy is so full of, he's like a wealth of information. If you're not subscribed to him and you're a Disney fan and you go there on a regular basis, you need to subscribe to him. Okay, so I thought this was funny in the context of, having to be tethered to your phone and, get up at 7 o'clock in the morning to try and start getting lightning lanes.
While you were sleeping at 7 a.m., I booked a lightning pass for Tron.
Yes!
Let's go.
Wait, who paid for it?
Not you.
You did.
How? You don't have my card then?
I went on your phone.
Uh-huh. My butt. Sponsored by Alexa. Let's go. How much was it? Oh, it's virtual. Oh, it's virtual.
No, it wasn't virtual.
Oh, you bought one.
$20 a person.
Okay.
So $40 for baby boy Kyle to get on the Tron ride when he lives there. I mean, that doesn't speak for itself. I don't know what does. All right, so the next thing is another Mickey Views. And this was interesting because this really kind of shocked me a little bit. I mean, I don't know where he's pulling this data from, but let's get into it.
Parks. And also there's data to suggest fewer families are going to Walt Disney World, which is the key demo Disney's competitor Universal is targeting with their new Epic Universe park.
Wow, it's going to be pretty interesting to see when this Epic Universe opens up in 2025. When Disney is in this decline, they're doing nothing about it. They're doubling down on everything with this Genie Plus stuff with the extra lightning lane costs. I don't understand why they just don't roll this into the price of the ticket instead of burdening people with this, with trying to get, fast passes and lightning lanes. And the fact that Braden is saying that families are, data suggests that families are being discouraged from coming. I wonder what Disney would think of this.
Well, it came about when my daughters were very young, and Saturday was always Daddy's Day with the two daughters. So we'd start out and try to go someplace with, different things, and I take them to the merry-go-round, and I took them different places, and as I'd sit there while they rode the merry-go-round, did all these things, sit on a bench, eating peanuts, I felt that there should be something built, some kind of an amusement enterprise built where that the parents and the children could have fun together. So that's how Disneyland started.
Well, did you think your business enterprise built for families to have fun together was going to turn into this? I don't think so. Well, I don't think so. So let's go to the next one. This is another Kyle Palo clip where he's walking past Baseline Tap House, which is one of my favorite places to go. It's actually a microbrew place inside of Hollywood Studios, and it's usually the outside is usually packed. So one of the things is we always go here, because when you go in August, you get these crazy, every day at 3-4 o'clock, you get a torrential rainstorm. So we would go there, get a spot in the back, and have a couple drinks and get a charcuterie board. My wife loves the charcuterie board. But so anyway, I'm babbling. Let me play the clip.
It's just something that not a lot of people know about. See? Right on over here. But pizza Rizzo time. Hardly anybody by Baseline today. Drinking in 104? That might be really good. The walls are still up in this section too. Thought they would have been down by now. We'll see how long that lasts. But without...
Right, so it's 104 degrees out, and nobody would want to have a nice ice cold beer. I mean, he's basically I don't think everyone who's having a beer is getting drunk in 104. Some people just have a drink when it's hot out, but apparently not Kylo Palo Palo. All right, so this next one is another Mickey Views clip, and here we go.
Turns out, yes, domestically, Disney is seeing lower results at the parks, Walt Disney World in particular. Disney says, quote, the decrease at Walt Disney World Resort was primarily due to higher costs on Disney's end, and lower volumes. The increase in costs was attributable to inflation and accelerated depreciation related to the planned closure of Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser.
So now they're blaming the Galactic Star Cruiser on lower attendance.
Lower volumes were due to decreases in occupied room nights and attendance. So the real issue, it's there at the end of the quote. What's happening is they're convincing fewer guests to come to Walt Disney World and pay for those astronomically priced hotel rooms, and they are also convincing fewer guests to pay for those $150 single-day tickets. So you have less people coming, you have less people staying at the resort, which was sort of by design, if you recall. Back in the days under Iger, before Chapek even took over, there was all of this about how we're going to be catering to sort of a higher class of customer, pricing some people out, and then under Chapek, of course, we got Genie, and the Genie Plus upcharges, they definitely alienated lower and middle income visitors.
So their plan was to upcharge and price people out. Now the parks are empty. They're not making any money. That sounds like a hell of a plan.
Because it's not even about can you afford to go and stay at Disney and pay for the tickets. That's just to get you inside the gate, and then you have to pay even more times with all these little microtransactions once you're inside the park, which is absolutely insane.
It is insane. All right, so the next one is another clip of Kylo Palo Palo. This time he actually says the parks are empty. That's why I left the audio in this one.
Wow. Toy Story Land seems really dry. And I'm not talking about the heat because it's really humid. I think I'm funny.
And you're not. So next, I got a couple of clips here where I'm showing you. So when I showed the wait time, it's not an app. It's actually a website. I don't know if you can get it as an app. But over the weekend, I was looking at it, and Pirates of the Caribbean was closed the whole day. Peter Pan kept closing down periodically throughout the day. Haunted Mansion, Thunder Mountain Railroad. So you're paying all this money for this Genie Plus, and these rides are constantly breaking down. And I'm going to show you some of the vloggers that were there recently that all had things happen to them. And the first one I'm going to play is JoJo, which I found so interesting. I actually had this clip in one of the prior videos that I made, but the fact that he's in line. Well, let me play it. I'll comment on it afterwards.
I was all the way up there.
We've been waiting for a little bit now. You know, I think it is. There's a lot of lightning lane that's coming through right now, so. Half what? Half building. Half building. You're good. Hey, at least the cast members told us, which is crazy, you know.
I tell you, this station will be operational as planned.
The Emperor does not share your optimistic appraisal of the situation.
They're half building right now. They have half the elevators operational.
Yeah, let me see.
It's gonna be longer waits.
Yeah. I mean, we tried.
We tried.
Should we leave?
Yes.
It's only half the building's going.
I mean, the line's moving a little bit.
Yeah, right.
We'll see. We'll see. Can you grab my beer? We'll see.
Hold my beer.
Only half the building is operational. That's why the lines are so long and so slow. There must be a better thing, there must be a better way of utilizing my precious time, whatever I have left on this planet. When you get to my age,
how about a better way of running the park?
you appreciate every moment of time.
So, you want to leave this line?
I am not objecting to it.
Yeah, I can't understand why. All right, so the next one is All Ears, Quincy. My God, does this girl sound like she's like a 1920s operator? I mean, holy cow. What a voice.
Very shocking development here is that Peter Pan's flight is down. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes because I have to be able to get another lightning lane still. Hopefully what will happen is that right on time when my lightning lane starts and Peter Pan is down, it will populate my app with a multi-experience pass. Basically, when an attraction is down at any point during your lightning lane window, if you have not used your lightning lane, you will get a multi-experience pass. It will automatically populate in your My Disney Experience app, and this allows you to ride almost anything, excluding
Unless it's broken.
the roller coasters. If that happens to you with a roller coaster, you'll be able to ride that roller coaster for sure. So I now just have to see if that multi-experience pass populates. That actually gives us a little flexibility in our day. So it seems like a bad thing. It is stressing me out a little, but it gives me the flexibility that I could use that multi-experience pass on Peter Pan, or I could not worry about another 2-hour cooldown and use it on Haunted Mansion.
A 2-hour cooldown.
Flight again. For now, though, I can't book another lightning lane until either that lightning lane is used or 11:49, because that will be after a 2-hour cooldown. So luckily, even if that multi-experience pass has a little bit of a delay, I'll be able to book a new one just a couple of minutes after. So I'm gonna just stand here and stare at my phone until that happens. Okay, so.
I mean, could you imagine? That sounded like you almost needed like a college course to figure out how to use, Genie Plus. I mean, what the hell? And this is the next one is PC Dev. See, some of the people that come to go on these rides for the first time, they don't even realize that the ride is broken. So right here, all these cannons are supposed to be going like looking like they're shooting. They're all broken. Yeah, and PC Dev later goes on to talk about this. I guess they call it I guess it's B level of the ride running or something. I don't know, but I mean, like, it's pathetic. So let's just take a quick look before I end this as to what's going on. So let's go to Magic Kingdom. 40 minutes for the Astro Orbiter. So I think the park closes at 9 today anyway. I'm not sure. But Haunted Mansion's 30 minutes. So that's another thing. I saw over the weekend, the Haunted Mansion was like over an hour. So this is another ride that never has a wait time over 30. So this whole Genie Plus thing, the way they manage it, pushes people around. I mean, like the Haunted Mansion ride, it's like the ride constantly runs. So there's like you just the line should be constantly moving, but because they're using this Genie Plus, and I don't know what the formula is as to who gets on first, and like how many people on Lightning Lane get on, and like the juxtaposition between we're getting X amount of people on the standby, and then we let X amount of people on the Lightning Lane. So that it's like whatever formula they're using is bumping up these rides wait times, like to where I've never seen it before. And that goes for Haunted Mansion, that goes for Pirates of the Caribbean, and Spaceship Earth. I'm like that was always a walk on, and now it's just half the time, or even I would say 80% of the time, it's not. If you get this app, you get this website, this WDW Passport, and you just pay attention randomly throughout the day, you're gonna see there's 3 and 4 rides down in Magic Kingdom. Sometimes there's one ride that's down all the time. Just so happens that there's nothing down now, which is kind of shocking. I mean, I wish I had screen recorded this weekend because it was insane. I mean, I would have been pissed. So here you go, Rock and Roller Coaster's down. That's about it. So Animal Kingdom's closed. I think they closed at 8 o'clock. So yeah. So that's my rant for the day, and I will be gone on Saturday. I won't be back until Friday. So I don't know how many of these I'm going to get out, but there's going to be like almost a week of inactivity. So that's that. And transmission.